League Cinematic tier list. Today I've taken some time out of my day to prepare the 30 more watched League Cinematics through the years. We're going to go through where we're going to rank them. As this is an opinion-driven video, I don't expect you to agree with everything I say. If you do find yourself disagreeing, just leave a comment. Do me a favor, don't hit the dislike button. You're going to be like Scar at the end of Lion King, and the algorithm is going to trample over my hopes and dreams. I'd really appreciate it if you'd help me out on that one, and just let me know either how I can improve the video or where your opinion differs from mine. I would love to hear your perspective. Let's jump in. First cinematic here is going to be a twist of fate. I'm going to be a little bit biased. I'm going to call this the gold standard of League of Legends cinematics. If you've never seen this, definitely go give it a watch. It'll hype you up. I always appreciated this as a kid because they even got a lot of things right, like Twisted Fate, for instance. At the front of this video, he's cycling his cards. Notice that? That's how his W works. Notice how he throws one, and then he goes 1, 2, 3 comes out. You can see Tryndamere later, which is really cool. I think Garen ends up killing Tryndamere or whatever. You see the ult. Watch the sword, bro. Did you see the eye on the sword? Comes to life. This, to me, is the gold standard of League of Legends cinematics. It hypes you up, makes you feel good, shows off some of the more popular characters, is true to the lore, and you can tell there are some nerds behind it because they even got little details like this correct. For me, we're going to move Twist of Fate into S-tier League of Legends cinematic. Next one here is another really popular one. This is called a New Dawn cinematic, League of Legends. It is also one of my favorite ones just because you got a lot more characters shown off in this one. I also appreciated the story arc because, like, you get to see a lot of cool things. Like, you get Draven, you get Rengar pouncing on Draven, you get Graves back when he had a cigar, pumping shotgun shells back when he was really popular. This was one of the more, like, I think they took the formula from a Twist of Fate and really maximized it. I love, if you guys have not seen Nautilus in this cinematic, oh my god, he looks like a raid boss. Again, any cinematic that leaves you with the impression where you remember visuals without even having to watch it, to me, is incredible. That triple knockback wave of Nautilus, I haven't seen this cinematic in years, and I can tell you exactly the point in the video where it's at, because that is how good of a cinematic this is. For me, I have to do it. I'm actually going to put a New Dawn. And if we're going to rank the two, I actually, again, this is my opinion. You may disagree with this. I actually prefer a New Dawn over a Twist of Fate. I think it's a little bit more hype. Both are S-tier category cinematics, though. Man, it's so funny to me. The next one is actually going to be out of order. This is just third on my list. This is I'm Still Here. And it's funny because, like, as League keeps going on, I'm still here, guys. There's some funny, like, Awaken, like, The Call. Please come back to our game, guys. As the years go on, some of these titles kill me. Yep, we're still here. To me, I've seen... Listen, this is not a bad video, but to me, this is also not a great video. Aatrox, to me, is the highlight of this video just because he looks so freaking cool. It literally makes me want to play him. Seeing old Yasuo with, like, the wind wall fighting over his town, like, this was pretty cool, too. Music's not bad. I thought Kindred was actually kind of cool. I've never seen Kindred in a cinematic, so this was neat to see. It looks like Tryndamere got thrown back, and this is shout out to a Twist of Fate because Tryndamere was featured in a Twist of Fate. That's why they said he's still here. Judge me if you want, but this is a B tier cinematic to me. I wasn't really, like, gassed up to go play the game after this. I thought it was neat, but nothing special. That is the definition of a B tier cinematic to me. I never really understood why with this one, Riven looks so whack in the thumbnail. Like, Riven just doesn't look like that to me, but hey. This to me was, I remember when this came out, it was kind of neat because, again, we got a lot more characters to it. I thought the music was also pretty nice in this one. I'm not going to play it for copyright reasons, but I think, like, even visuals like this are pretty cool. The thing that stood out to me that I will say here is Sion. Freaking Sion in this cinematic is Aatrox from the last cinematic. He truly is just raid boss. I even think, isn't Camille in this cinematic? I think Camille shows off. You've got a Jhin story arc. There's a lot of really cool, like, parallels. Draven in the Coliseum. What more do you want out of a Draven? This is an A-tier cinematic. Very good, but I just don't think it's up here. You might disagree. A lot of people like this one. To me, this is A-tier, but it's not the caliber of the other two. I generated this list out of order. It's funny, this one also just came out recently, this Welcome to Noxus, this season 2025. This one reminds me so much of the last cinematic in that there's a lot of good things going on in here, and you get a lot of good character diversity. Obviously, they're picking back off the Arcane hype and sequence. For me, the highlight of this entire cinematic was the Trundle versus Darius duel. I thought it was really, really fun to see that. Even getting characters like Elise, it was cool seeing her personified in a cinematic finally. Katarina still being featured. Again, this to me was the coolest part. Obviously, as I'm going through these cinematics, I'm realizing I just like raid boss male characters. I play Udyr, checks out. So I'm going to go ahead and put this one in A tier, and I'm going to put it behind Awaken. I do think the Awaken is better than the Noxus, but the Noxus is pretty much, it's A tier. It's good. I love this cinematic, this Warrior cinematic. I think they did so much right. This came out in 2020. The music's really good. There's a lot they did really, really well. They showed off a lot of characters. For me, the highlights of this cinematic, number one, the scene where, like, dude, the smile that Silas gives, I have always said this is a one trick, dude. I don't care if you're Scrub Noob, if you're Tarzan. I don't care who you are. There are some legendary players. I am a legendary Udyr player. If the best Rengar player in the world is on the enemy team, this Silas face is what I make, dude. And I have this visual. I'm like, ooh, a worthy contender. I can tell you've got some reps on your champ. Bet. Let's duel, buddy. So I've always remembered that face. That's literally how I feel. I think Galio is the raid boss kind of character that, you know, I've been talking about in these other videos. Lux obviously ending the ult with her cinematic. There's a lot of really cool things they did. So like Silas channeling Garen ult here. That's what this sword represents. There's a lot of really neat things. And then even like Vi, when she hits Urgot here at the end, like she hits him with the uppercut. That's her ult. So it's just a really, really, really cool cinematic. And I can't believe I'm actually doing this because I'm an old player. I'm actually going to put Warriors in S tier above a Twist of Fate. To me, this actually hyped me up more than a Twist of Fate did back in the day. Both are excellent cinematics, but man, what a great cinematic from the League team. The call, this is another one of those cinematics where I'm like, when did this come out? 2020? 3 years ago. Checks out. This is when the League player base started declining. The call, please come back and play our game. This cinematic was neither here nor there for me. I think this was a fine cinematic. You know, I think there were moments. Pantheon looked pretty cool in this. I liked the Sejuani. Isn't Volibear in this one? This is the one where like the Volibear god comes out. Yeah, this was the coolest scene to me. Obviously, I'm an Udyr player. Loved my bear boys, so that was cool to see. Very cool to see Volibear. Ornn looked very cool in this cinematic. Fortunately, though, the issue with this cinematic is it is very lackluster. I don't know why it does not give me that innate sense of wanting to go play League. To me, it was cool to see this, but I also think if you had just plugged this into an AI and said, make a cinematic with the characters, it would have done the exact same thing. To me, this is a good, obviously I like all these cinematics, but this is the first C tier we've had. Nothing special to me here. Next one is a little bit of a lesser known one, but my OGs will remember this. This was the Warwick rework. I remember seeing this video and it's super, super hyped up. 13 million views, I think, is where it ended up landing. So it's still pretty popular. A lot of you guys will remember this. This made me think of the game. What's the one where you're underwater? Rapture. I can't even remember the name of it. It's got Big Daddy in it. Somebody leave it in the comments. You know the one I'm talking about. But it reminds me so much of that. This was a fantastic champion reveal trailer. The cinematics are great. The storytelling's great. It makes you literally want to play Warwick of A tier. I know it's not a true cinematic, but still very, very cool storytelling. And I remember this one, even though it's less popular in 2025. This one just came out, The Relentless Hunter. I'm going to be honest, F frickin' minus. Number one, it looks like it's not even in English, which goes to show that Riot's not trying to entertain Western audiences anymore. They're going to Eastern. So that's bad in of itself. But number two, we've got a lot of, this is just like in-game cosmetics. Like, this is super neat. This is super cool. I like think this is great and all, but like, I'm excited for this. This is just not how you bring people back to the game, though. This is not what you release on the official League of Legends channel as a trailer. Yeah, this one for me is F tier. Sorry, I don't have any sympathy for it. All that will ever be cinematic is really, this is the Belvis cinematic. This is really funny to me because do you remember the exact video we just watched? Look how different Kaisa looks between the two. Riot is clearly outsourcing a lot of these artists. They can't even get a consistent image across their characters, as funny as that is. I remember this one being kind of neat. Like, don't get me wrong, it was cool. It was a nice announcement trailer. Lots of purple, lots of questions. I mean, it was interesting. I don't know, dude. I think this is D tier. I wasn't really hyped up about it. It reminds me of, I'm not going to include this one in this list, but if you remember the ASOL announcement trailer, very similar, just very mysterious, like neat to see, but nothing special. You really got me was an announcement trailer for Wild Rift. I'm going to be honest, I get hyped every time I watch this. This makes me think of like, this is what a Riot MMO could have been like, you know what I mean? Seeing these characters in this type of, you know, world, in this type of graphics, in this type of setting. It's really, really well done, frankly. It's got good music to it. High tempo makes you want to play it. I really like that they featured some new characters like Blitzcrank, like Malphite in here. It's really, really cool to see. They obviously hit the popular ones like Yasuo and Lux. You know, I actually think this is an A-tier cinematic. It's a shame Wild Rift didn't pan out to be what we wanted it to, but I really enjoy watching this every single time I see it, so I'm going to put it in A tier for that reason alone. The Rise League of Legends trailer is going to be very polarizing. A lot of people back in the day really enjoyed this one, and this is kind of like an Eastern audience esports trailer because it features the actual players as the faces, and it's talking about, literally in the description of the reaching the peak that takes more than skill, and it's talking about hard work of the players, right? That's kind of like what this trailer represents. To me, I don't give a flying crap about esports. I don't watch esports, literally never have. It's just not my cup of tea. I respect anybody that does. I'm not slamming you. It's just not my cup of tea. And so for me, this was a complete swing and a miss of a trailer. Was the lamest thing I'd ever seen. To somebody that watches League, like I had a friend named Bonky in my friend group. He loved this trailer. That's why I got to put it at C tier, dude. And I'm going to put it below the call because it doesn't entertain people like me we don't care about esports. This is a C tier, even though it's really well done. The production quality is great. It just was a swing and a miss for a very high percentage of the player base. The Varus music trailer is very Kappa Pride, and I am A-okay with being Kappa Pride. The thing that I have an issue with is Tencent is literally owned by the Chinese government, which is the most anti-gay rights thing ever. So it's very hypocritical, in my opinion, for like Riot Games at this point, which is now owned by Tencent, to be trying to promote gay rights, even though like their parent company is at direct odds with that. So Riot has done a lot of good things through the years with it, but this was about the age when it was 7 years ago. It was a good time to monetize that market. Let me put it that way. I don't think this is something they actually cared about. But Varus, visually, this is an S tier cinematic. Music-wise, I'd probably rate it A tier because of my personal knowledge about Tencent and the Chinese corporate government and kind of all the issues going on with the actual human rights. I can't rate this any higher than B tier for me. So for that reason alone, we're just going to go ahead and pop this one B tier. Again, visually, I think it's S tier. Music-wise, I think it's A tier. My takeaway is B tier, unfortunately. This Ruination cinematic was all about Viego. This was a really cool cinematic. I love that, like, it kind of was like, this is just a static universe and things like this can happen. It gave you this impression and this feeling you were actually inside the League universe. Also featured champions like Poppy, which was kind of cool to see. My issue is, like, A, the game doesn't play anything like this, and B, why is Viego so freaking overpowered in this? Literally, that's all I was thinking. I was like, this is literally old school Season 2 Kassadin. Why is Viego so overpowered in this cinematic? I couldn't get beyond that extension of disbelief as watching it. I'm going to have to put this one in B tier. It's ahead of the last one. It just doesn't give me that innate sense of wanting to play. Like, the characters featured are really cool. I just don't have that gut feeling of let's go log in and play, you know? A Dark Gambit is a super short trailer. This is clearly just an Arcane promotion. It's got like Atacon in it, Vladimir LeBlanc, and it's just literally a cool little Arcane promotion. No inner feeling of wanting to play, not excited about the characters shown. This is just kind of like an Arcane trailer. I'm actually going to put this in E tier. I think the Belvis was better personally. The Rise Call of Power cinematic, I had almost forgotten this existed. I don't know. I think it's because Riot tried to brand this as a Rise cinematic. This is a fantastic A tier cinematic. It's got so many characters shown off. You get to see some cool abilities. You get to see a little bit more of the universe, which I think is the whole point. There's Nasus here, dude. Do you see this? He's casting Wither to give Rise some time to chase the power. You even get Vel'Koz, man. Like, there's a lot of really good things going for this cinematic. I just think it's because they branded it as a Rise cinematic, it didn't really get popular. This Rise cinematic, I'm going to put in A tier. I actually think I'm going to put it above the Wild Rift cinematic. You guys remember when Rakan and Xayah was played non-stop all the time in solo queue? These two, this is actually a really cool champion release. It was the first time we'd ever seen kind of like champions interact with each other like this. I think for that reason alone, because Riot tried something new, this is worthy of at least B tier. This does not do anything for me. I think it was, again, cool to see the universe. Like, this is really neat and all. But for me, it's got to be B tier because the same reason all these other videos here, they're just not... They're good, but not good enough. A Hero Awakens. I remember this one. This was the Ezreal thing. I remember there were so many, like, soft boy jokes in the League of Legends community after this came out. This was hilarious. This one never did anything for me. I think this was, again, just trying to pertain to too small a percentage of the player base. It's also got, like, this anime style, which I don't watch a whole lot of anime. A lot of people do. Good for you if you do, but there's just a percentage of the player base, like me, that they missed with this trailer. I got to put it C tier for the same reason these others. They missed a percentage of the player base, and frankly, it's not exciting enough to get me to log in. If you guys have never read the Fiddlesticks lore, I was a Fiddlesticks main back in Season 2 and Season 3. Fiddlesticks is a terrifying demon. This was his Terra and Demacia trailer, and this is like the Warwick trailer. This is freaking scary, man. Like, I really wish that Riot would go down kind of these more like, you know, true deep dive in the lore, because that's what used to make the charm. Like, this was part of the League of Legends universe back in the day. It was super cool to see these Fiddlesticks, Warwick, all of this. I'm going to have to put it in A tier, and I'm going to put it above the Rift Kit as well, just because I think that it's the same deal with Warwick. It really made you want to play Fiddlesticks, made you want to log in. It was a really good, well-done, executed trailer. I must have missed this. This never hit my algorithm. I don't know what the heck I'm watching. Are they fighting a dragon? I'm really confused. I mean, they're clearly promoting like the same characters during this archetype, but I never saw this. I can see why it didn't get popular. It's not an accurate reflection of the game. It's not particularly exciting. It's a little bit long. There's no cool music behind it. I think I'm going to put Before Dawn down in E tier. I don't think I ever want to see that cinematic again, frankly. I'm good if I go to the grave never seeing that one again. Those that didn't play during the time when this trailer came out, Legends Never Die, every single time you would flash fail or like die inside the game, someone would all chat Legends Never Die. This was truly one of the coolest cinematics at its time. It was really, really neat just to see kind of what was going on. For me, it wasn't anything crazy. The music was the coolest part. Again, I can't play it because of copyright, but if you do want to go check out the music is the best part of this. Features a lot of characters. I like the art style. For a lot of people, this is a really, really good cinematic. Legends Never Die, I'm going to put right behind Awakening at the very, very, very top of A tier. Project Overdrive is a really, really cool cinematic. If you guys never saw this, definitely go watch it. I used to really miss when they used to do these skin line trailers and stuff like that. For me, this falls into the trap of some of the other videos we've talked about where like it's not a reflection of League. It's kind of hard to understand what's going on. It's a cool watch and it's inside the universe. Very, very neat. But that is the biggest issue with this. You don't really understand what you're looking at. I'm going to go ahead and put Project down kind of in that Belvith category of like, yeah, it's neat. Doesn't make me want to log in. Unsure what I'm looking at. Kind of strange. Definitely worse than the ones above it. We're starting to see some parallels here. This is another one of them esports trailers where like they put the players' faces in it and stuff. And like we got, I mean, again, this is such a cool cinematic visually. Like it's really, really neat what they did. The issue that I have is somebody like me who does not care about esports. I just saw 30 strangers walking down a street in the middle of a cinematic. Does that kind of make sense? It really takes me out of the immersion. I don't really enjoy this. People who do play esports or do watch esports rather, this might be the coolest thing you've ever seen. So I don't really know, you know, it's another extremely polarizing trailer. Put this one right behind the other one of its class that rides the other esports trailer just because it's polarizing. Some people love it, some people hate it. The Get Jinx trailer, to me, is one of the best done champion-specific trailers ever made. Not only does this give you an insight into Jinx's personality, but during this time, there's like a login screen and a whole event and everything. The music was kind of fun for people that played it. You got a very clear idea of what was going on with her personality, how she played, kind of what she was. And this was an introduction to a character that if you liked this character, you were going to play League. I think this one was extremely well done. I'm going to put Get Jinxed actually at the very, very top of B tier for me. Another one of them esports trailers like this, again, is really, really cool. But for me, when I picture Viego, I see Viego. I don't see Viego with an esports player on it. And I don't know who any of these players are. This is going to have to, unfortunately, go in the same category as the rest. I mean, the crown is heavy. It's heavy for Faker. We're not all Faker. I've never played with Faker. I will, like, you know what I mean? Like, this to me is just, Riot has to get the casual player back involved in the game. Not the esports watcher, not the sweaty person playing 8 hours a day. But how do you get people excited like they used to it with these tier graphs or these videos above them, you know? Okay, this one is not an official trailer. This one hit my feed just because I've been scrolling through cinematics all day. If you have not seen accurate cinematic Darius, please, please, please go watch this. I'm going to put this on this list because this is the type of stuff that Riot should do. Like, this is hilarious. This would bring so many people back to the game if they did, you know, more like goofy trailers like this. I think this is hilarious, and this is a perfect embodiment of what Riot should try to emulate. For me, even though it's not a main thing, I am literally going to put this as S tier. This is a case study for Riot to learn it from, truly. Burn It All Down is a real, I love the art style of this, and I'm actually going to bump this one up above the other esports videos that we've reviewed simply because this art style is super, super nice. I also like the music. I can't play it again because of copyright. We've got Cinder. We got all that. I think this is the same trap as the other esports ones. It's extremely polarizing. I'll bump this one up to B tier because I do think artistically I really appreciate this style, and they went on in a different direction, but falls in the same trap of these other three. It's actually cool because I don't remember this one getting as popular as it now is, but this was always one of my favorite ones. I appreciated the music. Music's really good. The art style is really nice. I can tell you again, as a non-esports viewer, I really appreciated that they stopped doing that because they were doing it in every single video for a little bit there. This one to me is really, really nice. It features esports while also keeping it entertaining for the casual viewer such as myself. I know I'm running out of room in this A tier, but I'm going to put it right in between the Noxus and the Legends Never Die. I think this one is really, really well done and strikes that healthy balance between casual viewer and esports viewer. This was so cool to see, this pentakill stuff, because if you guys remember Phantom Lord, he was one of the OG greats in Karthus. He used to play nothing but heavy guitar metal on stream, and so it's cool to see that that got incorporated even inside the game. One of the more popular players constantly playing that type of music seeped its way into the culture. So this to me was a really, really well done cinematic. It honestly has a lot of really cool things going for it. I wish they would do more things like this in 2025. I'm gonna have to put Pentakill in A tier. I know we're slammed full, but this to me is gonna go right kind of in that sweet spot, that middle spot. It's gonna be above the Warwick. But it's going to kind of be between this Mel Noxus trailer this season and Warwick. Pretty good, and I wish they would do more like it. I sound like a broken record, I know, and I if you guys do enjoy esports, that's awesome. These trailers are going to be great for you, but I'm just seeing a bunch of random people sitting in a chair, and the other thing that I'll tell you in 2025 as a content creator, the illusion of being able to get really good in solo queue and then go pro is almost a dead dream, at least for the Western audience. Eastern audience, maybe, but it's promoting a type of dream that I just don't think you can do anymore. I think, 10 years ago, you could follow that path. And unfortunately, since it features esports, this is my least favorite of all of them. I'm going to put it above the Ezreal, but it's still going to go in this same middle bracket of awesome. A bunch of strangers I still couldn't tell you about. All right, if you're at this point in the video, thank you guys so much for watching. This is the final tier graph. Fun fact, I've been editing since 7 a.m. was when I sat down and started doing this. It's now 2:49 p.m. So this is a nice little 6-hour project. Now I got to go make the thumbnail and all that stuff. So if you did enjoy the video, since I spent a lot of time on it, would you mind hitting a like, commenting, and again, if you disagree with any of this, please share your opinion instead of disliking. I read all the comments. I really enjoy hearing what you guys have to say, and I might even feature it in a video if it's a good enough comment, right? And then the other thing, if you could do me a huge, huge favor, if you want to go even further, I've been struggling as a small content creator for too long. I actually need y'all's help. If you could just drop this video in your Discord and just say, what do you guys think? All of us got friend Discords. It would go a long way. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you in the next one, and appreciate each and every one of you. Bye.
Dang. Call me so I can make it juicy for ya.